Have you ever had a pair of shoes that genuinely just make you happy? Like you just look at your shoes and you're like, hey pal, I appreciate you. We're gonna figure out this skateboarding thing together. I've skated a lot of skate shoes in my day, including Nike SB Dunks, but no shoe has made me feel as stoked to skate on my skateboard as these shoes have. So the question is, could these shoes actually replace the Nike SB Dunks? Let's talk about it. And also subscribe if you're not subscribed already. First, I want to cover how these shoes are and are not similar to the Nike SB Dunks, and also whether or not that's a good or bad thing. So visually, these shoes do have a lot of similarities to a Nike SB Dunk. If you look at the paneling right here on my Dunks, you can follow this strip all the way down, connects to this toe cap, comes all the way around, and then comes back up there. And you can see kind of how this strip of leather is kind of has this waviness to it. If you look at the Nike SB Force 58s, you've got the same waviness. This strip comes down, connects to the toe cap, comes all the way around, back up. Pretty much identical paneling along this part of the shoe. As well, if you're looking top down at the shoes, this gives a really good view of how similar these shoes are. They both also have that classic Nike check, but what's different is that on these Dunks, the check wraps all the way around the heel, and on the Force 58s, it does not as well. This panel that comes all the way around the heel cap on the Dunks is just a regular heel cup on the Force 58. So the front of the shoe and top down, these look extremely similar to Nike Dunks and follow that classic basketball aesthetic of a Nike SB Dunk. Like if I just move these around, you'd think that these could be different versions of the exact same shoe. Besides the fact that these are like pristine and brand new and this one is a little bit thrashed. One more thing that really does set these shoes apart though, the padded tongue on the Nike SB Dunk. This is pretty thick, and on the Force 58 it's a lot thinner, but I think by looking at these side by side, I think it proves my point that these shoes visually look very, very similar. If you can imagine this Nike SB Dunk with this colorway, I mean it'd be almost impossible to tell them apart when you're skating. Where things do get really, really different with these shoes is with the outsole. If you look at the tread on these outsoles, this is the classic Nike basketball tread. This thing is thick and chunky and it is almost indestructible. This tread is tried and tested, and because it is thicker, it may not have the best board feel, but we know that it is insanely durable and not gonna blow out on you. Whereas with these Nike SB Force 58s, they went with this triangular three-pronged tread pattern similar to what's on the Nike SB Nijas. And you can see from the wear and tear of me skating it that I did blow a hole all the way through the tread and the outsole on this shoe. The outsole on the SB Dunks is thicker, heavier, more durable, but that means that these Force 58s have a much lighter, more flexible outsole, which gives you superior board feel compared to the Nike SB Dunks. So if you're somebody that loves skating the Dunks, but you wish they had a little bit more board feel, I mean, here he is right here. So what is it about these shoes that makes them so special, and should you stop buying Dunks and start buying Nike SB Force 58s? Well, let me explain it in one word.
Money.
As you probably know, the Nike SB Dunks sell for $100 retail, but they sell out pretty much every single time, and then you can only buy them from resellers for double or triple what they were initially worth. Whereas these Nike SB Force 58s are way more available and they're only $75. Obviously, Dunks have a huge appeal just because of the aesthetic and the design process that goes into making such a beautiful shoe. And I'm not hating on Dunks at all. More so, I'm just hating on like the resale culture because I'm bummed that I don't get to skate these shoes. Well, obviously I could skate them, but they're just so expensive. I'm gonna hold on to these for a while because they cost so much. And then once they get kicked around a bit, then I will skate them. But with these shoes, they're $75, which is about on par for what skate shoes cost. Although they're not quite as durable as the Dunks, they're still durable. They have that Dunk aesthetic and they have much better board feel. For me, I love this slimmed down silhouette. Back in 2016, Ashad Ware made his own version of a Nike Dunk, and he basically made something similar to this shoe where he slimmed down the silhouette of a Dunk, trimmed down the outsole to make it a bit thinner, and took away the padding of the tongue on the Dunks to make it more like this Force 58. Those Ashad Ware Dunks from 5 years ago are selling for thousands of dollars. And a lot of those same features from the Ashad Wear signature dunk are found in these Nike SB Force 58s. In fact, Ashad Wear just released his pro shoe, and I'm going to be getting it in the mail in just a couple days. But one of the main design goals with the Nike Ashad Wears was to create a cupsole shoe that had elements of a vulcanized shoe, to kind of create a hybrid between vulcanized and cupsole. If you read the description of this shoe, Nike had almost identical goals with this shoe as they did with the Ashad, trying to make a cupsole that felt like a Volk. Now, I'll let you know conclusively once I get the Nike Ashad, but it seems like the Nike SB Force 58 and the Nike SB Ashads are kind of two paths to the same destination. A shoe that has elements of a dunk but has better board feel. The Nike SB Ashads are $100. Again, these are $75. So I just think that this shoe is extremely underrated, and I want this shoe to do well because I want Nike to keep producing it. Now, one word of caution, one thing that you should know before you buy these shoes is, along with a lot of skate shoes, the laces are going to rip. The laces on these are put in about the worst place possible, just like on the Nike SB Dunks. The difference with the Dunks is that you have this flap here where you can actually lace your shoes underneath the flap to protect your laces. On the Force 58s, you do not have that. So one solution would be to go to Lifetime Laces. They're a company that has hooked me up. I love their laces. They're super durable. This is probably like the most exposed lace placement that you could do, and with the Lifetime laces you see that they've frayed, but they're not even close to breaking. Aside from that, when you get the shoes, you can put some super glue or shoe glue on these two laces or skate them for a session to see where the wear is, and then find some DIY solution to actually strengthen those areas. But if you can come up with a solution for the laces, I think these are some of the best skate shoes out right now, and they're personally my favorite skate shoes. Normally I go through a pair of skate shoes every month, and even when my shoes aren't completely blown out, I'll go ahead and get a new pair anyways because I like making shoe videos for YouTube. But I liked these Nike SB Force 58s that I skated these things to the bitter end. You can see the check is falling off, getting some crazy wear here on the toe cap from ollies and kick flips. And honestly, I would skate these shoes still, but because there's a hole in the left toe, it's gonna be breaking through, putting holes in my socks. So that's why I stopped skating these shoes. But even with how thin the outsole got after wearing them for so long, they were so comfortable and so form-fitted to my foot. I'd never felt so connected to a skate shoe ever. If you ever wondered what a vulcanized dunk would look like, this is probably the closest that you're gonna get. Again, it has the attributes of both a cupsole and a vulcanized shoe, a similar aesthetic to a dunk. I just think that's a winning combination, and I'm super hyped on these shoes. I think these shoes are extremely underrated, just like the Friday hoodies and shirts that are underneath this video. So if you want to support the channel, pick one up for yourself. Make every single day a Friday. Subscribe if you like these videos and you want to see more, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace. In the last video, the top comment was Paul Rodriguez's "yeah right" part. If you notice, I had that playing at the beginning of the video. Comment down below what you want me to put on the screen in the next video. Alright, peace. Trying to get work done around here, kid. Trying to pay for this extravagant lifestyle that we lead.